The world most people see is clean, organized, and controlled by rules. Goods move through legal shops, banks handle money, and governments try to keep everything in order. But behind this visible world, there is another system that works quietly in the shadows. This hidden system is known as the black market. It is a place where people buy and sell things outside the law, often in secret and with great care. Most people never see it, but it exists in almost every country, moving like a silent network that connects people who are willing to take risks. In this hidden world, things happen very differently. There are no official receipts, no public records, and no clear identities. People use fake names, coded language, and hidden locations. A simple message can carry a deep meaning, and a small mistake can lead to serious consequences. The black market is not always loud or chaotic as some may think. In fact, the most efficient networks are calm, organized, and very careful. They operate like a well-planned machine, where every person knows their role and every step is calculated. Many people imagine the black market as a place filled only with danger and disorder, but the truth is more complex. Some of these networks are highly structured, almost like real businesses. They have leaders, planners, transporters, and even people who handle communication. Each part works together to make sure everything runs smoothly. Goods can move from one side of the world to another without being noticed, passing through many hands without leaving a clear trace. It is this level of organization that makes these networks so powerful and difficult to stop. One of the most surprising things about these networks is how they stay hidden in plain sight. Transactions can happen in crowded cities, busy markets, or even online platforms where thousands of people are active every day. To an outsider, everything looks normal, but beneath the surface, secret deals are being made. A simple package, a short phone call, or a quick meeting can be part of a much larger system that stretches across countries and continents. The people involved in these networks are not always what you would expect. Some look like ordinary workers, business people, or travelers. They blend into society, making it almost impossible to tell who is part of the network and who is not. This makes the black market even more difficult to track, as it does not have a single face or location. It is everywhere and nowhere at the same time, adapting quickly to changes and finding new ways to survive. As you begin to understand this hidden world, it becomes clear that it is not just about illegal goods, but about systems, strategy, and control. The real story lies in how these networks manage to operate so smoothly without being seen, how they communicate without being heard, and how they move so fast without leaving a trace. And just when it seems impossible to understand how such a system can exist, the deeper question begins to form about the exact methods and steps they use to function so efficiently. The black market does not work by chance. It follows careful plans and systems that allow it to operate efficiently. One of the most important parts is communication. People in the network cannot speak freely. They must use secret codes, hidden messages, or special apps to avoid being discovered. Even small details matter, like the way a message is written or the time a meeting happens. Every action is planned to reduce risks and protect the people involved. This secrecy is what keeps the network alive and difficult for law enforcement to find. Goods move through the black market in many clever ways. Items like money, weapons, drugs, or rare objects are transported using hidden routes. Some networks hide products inside trucks, shipping containers, or even everyday packages. Others use people who seem ordinary, like travelers or delivery workers, to carry goods without raising suspicion. Every step is calculated. If a mistake happens, it can ruin months of planning or even put lives in danger. The networks are like a complex machine where every part has a purpose, and everything must work in harmony. Money is another important part of these operations. Payments cannot go through banks in the usual way because banks leave records. Instead, networks use cash, cryptocurrencies, or other methods that are harder to trace. Some networks even create fake businesses to hide transactions. This allows them to move large amounts of money without attracting attention. And the flow of money is carefully controlled, just like the movement of goods, to ensure the network can continue functioning without being stopped. Transportation is also very organized. Networks often divide shipments into smaller parts to avoid detection. Instead of sending everything in one big package, they split it into many smaller shipments, sometimes passing through different countries or cities. This reduces the chance that authorities notice the movement. People working in these networks are trained to be cautious and to act normal, even when carrying illegal items. Their skills are a major reason why these networks are so efficient and hard to break. Another key factor is timing. Deals, deliveries, and meetings are never random. They are scheduled for the right moment, sometimes using signals or codes to coordinate without direct contact. Timing helps prevent problems and reduces the risk of discovery. If someone acts too early or too late, the whole operation can fail. Precision is critical, and every member of the network must follow the plan exactly. The efficiency of these networks comes from planning, secrecy, and careful execution. Every person has a role, every movement is calculated, and every step is designed to avoid detection. They are not chaotic or messy, but highly organized systems operating in the shadows. And just when it seems like we understand how these networks work, the question arises about the people behind them, the masterminds who design these operations and control such complex and hidden systems. Behind every successful black market network, there are people who plan, lead, and control everything. These people are often called the masterminds. They are not always criminals in the usual sense. Many are smart, strategic, and careful thinkers. They know how to avoid law enforcement and how to make the network run smoothly. They do not act alone. Each mastermind builds a team of trusted members, assigning roles and responsibilities to ensure that the network works like a well-oiled machine. These leaders study the law and the systems of countries to find gaps they can use. They understand how authorities track people, how borders are monitored, and how financial systems operate. Using this knowledge, they create plans that are difficult to detect. Some masterminds focus on one type of product, like drugs or rare items, while others manage several kinds of operations at the same time. Their ability to think ahead and predict possible problems is one of the reasons these networks survive for years. Trust is very important in these networks. A single mistake or betrayal can ruin everything. The masterminds are careful about who they allow into their inner circle. People are tested before they are trusted with important tasks. Communication is limited, and instructions are often coded or given indirectly. This reduces the chance that outsiders, including law enforcement, can learn about the network. Even the most minor detail is considered, from how messages are written to how meetings are arranged. Hierarchy is another key factor. Not everyone has the same power or knowledge. At the top is the mastermind or a group of leaders who make the big decisions. Below them are planners, transporters, and messengers who carry out orders. Each person knows only what they need to know to do their job. This limits the damage if someone is caught or compromised. It also keeps the network flexible because tasks can continue, even if one person is removed. Masterminds also think about risks constantly. They prepare for possible problems, from law enforcement raids to betrayal within the group. Contingency plans are always in place. Some networks even have secret signals or backup locations to continue operations if the main plan fails. Their careful attention to detail and ability to adapt quickly is what makes them so dangerous and effective. Despite their intelligence, these people live with constant danger. Being discovered can lead to arrest, violence, or worse. Many masterminds never reveal their true identity or location. Some change cities, countries, or identities to avoid detection. Others rely on technology to hide their tracks online. The combination of skill, secrecy, and strategy makes these individuals the true force behind the most efficient black market networks, and understanding them is the key to understanding how these hidden systems continue to operate around the world. Being part of a black market network is not only about skill and strategy, it is also full of danger. The people involved take huge risks every day. Law enforcement agencies around the world are always trying to catch them. Undercover agents, surveillance, and raids are common threats. One wrong step, a careless message, or a missed signal can lead to arrest, or worse. The fear of being caught is always present, and it affects how the network operates. The dangers do not only come from authorities. Betrayal is another major risk. Trust is critical in these networks, but sometimes members may turn against each other. They might give information to law enforcement or rival networks to save themselves or gain power. Even the smallest mistake by a member can compromise the entire operation. The masterminds know this, so they design strict rules, limits on information, and testing for everyone in the network. Despite this, the threat of betrayal never fully disappears. Violence is also part of the black market. Conflicts over goods, money, or control can lead to serious harm. People in these networks often need to protect themselves or their shipments. Some carry weapons, and others rely on trusted allies for security. But even with protection, danger is unpredictable. A deal can go wrong, a shipment can be intercepted, or a rival group may attack. Every action must be planned to reduce risk, but complete safety is impossible. Another challenge is technology. While technology can help these networks communicate and hide transactions, it can also be a risk. Digital records, tracking software, and online surveillance can expose networks if they are careless. Masterminds use encryption, fake accounts, and coded language to protect themselves. But technology is constantly evolving. Law enforcement uses advanced tools to track digital movements, and one mistake can reveal the network. This creates a constant game of cat and mouse, where every member must be alert and cautious. The personal life of those involved is also affected. Many live in fear, hiding their real identity or changing their routines constantly. They cannot trust everyone around them, and their relationships are limited to people in the network. The stress of living with constant risk can be exhausting. Some members leave the network because they cannot handle the pressure, while others continue because of money, loyalty, or fear of consequences. Despite all these dangers, the black market continues to operate. Its efficiency comes from careful planning, secrecy, and constant awareness of risk. Every decision is measured, and every move is calculated. Those who survive and thrive in this world are highly skilled, adaptable, and cautious. Yet the risks remain, and any operation can collapse in an instant if something goes wrong. Even the most experienced members know that danger is always near, and the next challenge or threat is never far away. The black market is not limited to one city or country. It stretches across the entire world. These networks connect nations, continents, and oceans, moving goods and money silently and efficiently. Rare items, illegal drugs, weapons, and even counterfeit money can travel thousands of miles without anyone noticing. The global reach of these networks makes them more powerful and difficult to stop. No single government can control everything, and this allows the black market to continue growing quietly. Connections between countries are carefully planned. Some networks use legal businesses as cover, while others rely on secret routes through remote areas or ports. People working in the network know exactly where to send packages, how to hide them, and how to receive them without leaving a trace. International borders are not a barrier because the networks use creative solutions, such as fake documents, hidden compartments, or trusted couriers. Each part of the journey is calculated to avoid detection, showing the skill and planning behind these operations. The impact of these networks is huge. They influence local economies, politics, and even society. Illegal money can support corruption, bribery, and organized crime. The goods they sell can harm communities or create dependence on illegal products. Even when some parts of a network are caught, other parts continue operating, often stronger than before. This shows how resilient and adaptable these systems are, able to survive despite law enforcement efforts. Technology also helps the global network. Online platforms, encrypted messaging apps, and cryptocurrency allow people to connect across countries instantly. Digital black markets make it possible to trade goods without meeting face-to-face. This reduces risk and increases efficiency. Even though authorities are working hard to monitor these platforms, new tools and methods appear constantly, making it a continuous battle between criminals and law enforcement. People in these networks are trained to think globally. They know how to manage resources, move products, and avoid authorities in multiple countries. Some masterminds oversee operations that span continents, coordinating teams in different cities and time zones. Every shipment, every transaction, and every communication is carefully controlled to maintain the network's efficiency. This level of planning makes the black market feel almost like a shadow economy, hidden but fully functional. Despite their global reach, these networks remain hidden. To the public, everything appears normal. Stores, shipments, and businesses operate as usual. The black market exists in the gaps, in hidden routes and secret connections. Its power comes from staying invisible while reaching everywhere. And just when it seems that these networks cannot grow any further, new technologies and methods begin to expand their reach even more, preparing the stage for the next evolution in how the black market will operate. The future of the black market is changing fast. Technology is creating new ways for networks to operate and stay hidden. Digital platforms, cryptocurrencies, and encrypted communication make it easier to trade goods without being seen. Some networks now exist almost entirely online, where buyers and sellers never meet in person. This makes it harder for law enforcement to track them because there is no physical location and no obvious trail. Masterminds are always looking for new methods to avoid detection. They study technology, law, and human behavior to stay ahead. Some use advanced software to hide transactions, while others create fake identities to continue their operations. Even as authorities develop better tracking tools, the networks adapt quickly. This constant evolution makes the black market very difficult to stop. It is a world where innovation is as important as secrecy. The risks remain high, though. Digital operations are not completely safe. A small mistake, a hacked account, or a poorly coded message can expose an entire network. Masterminds know this and train their members carefully. They teach them how to use technology safely, how to cover their tracks, and how to respond if something goes wrong. Even with these precautions, the danger of being caught or betrayed is never far away. Global connections are also growing stronger. Networks are no longer limited to one type of product or one region. They combine different trades, moving goods, money, and information across multiple countries simultaneously. This allows them to reach more customers and increase profits. At the same time, it increases the complexity of their operations, requiring even more planning and coordination. Only the most skilled leaders can manage these global networks successfully. Despite their efficiency, law enforcement is improving too. Agencies around the world are sharing information, using technology to track digital activity, and working together to uncover networks. Cybercrime units, international police organizations, and financial investigators all play a role in trying to stop illegal operations. However, for every network that is caught, new ones appear, often learning from the mistakes of the previous networks. It is a constant battle, with both sides adapting and evolving. The black market will likely continue to exist as long as there is demand and opportunity. Technology will make it faster, more hidden, and more complex. But the basic principles of secrecy, planning, and risk management will remain the same. These networks are a part of the hidden side of our global economy, constantly changing and adapting. Understanding them is important because they influence economies, societies, and even politics. The future will show how these networks evolve and whether law enforcement can ever fully control a system that is designed to be invisible and unstoppable.